Have you ever wondered why some people seem to constantly attract good things into their lives? They walk into a room and the atmosphere feels lighter. They face challenges, yet somehow opportunities still find them. They do not need to try to please anyone, yet they are still loved. They are not always wealthy, but they are always abundant. Meanwhile, some people constantly feel like they are going against the flow of life. They try to change jobs, change environments, change habits, even change their closest relationships, but they still encounter the same disappointments, the same types of conflicts, the same sorrows they thought they had left behind long ago. Many people look at this phenomenon and immediately conclude that life is inherently unfair, that some people are favored by fate, while others must accept a harsher destiny. But the interesting thing about life is that the truth rarely lies in what we see. The truth often lies in what we pay the least attention to, right inside ourselves. What we attract does not come from fate or luck, but from our inner state. Every repeated thought, every held back emotion, every belief we carry, all become invisible yet powerful signals that radiate from within and reflect back through our external experiences. This is not magic, nor is it the law of attraction in a mystical sense. It is psychology. It is emotional energy. It is how the human brain and heart operate. The world does not respond to what you say you want. The world responds to what you truly believe you deserve. If deep inside you believe that you are not good enough, you will unconsciously choose paths that reinforce that belief. Relationships that hurt you, jobs that drain you, habits that undermine your spirit. If within you there is a fear of abandonment, you will unconsciously strain yourself to be accepted, even if it costs you your true self. If in your heart there is a sense that no one truly loves me, you will see coldness everywhere, even when others are trying to reach out to you. Many people try to change their circumstances without realizing that circumstances are only the surface. The root lies in the things we have never faced directly: old wounds, buried memories, unnamed fears. These are what truly govern the way we step into life, the way we love, the way we react, and the way we build or destroy our own lives. The most important point is that most of these patterns operate in silence. You may think that you are freely choosing, but in reality, many of your choices are just repetitions of the past. You change your job but carry old fears. You change your partner but carry old wounds. You change your living place but carry old beliefs. And so the same old story unfolds again, only with a new setting. Nothing truly changes unless the change comes from within. This is why some people attract good things, not because they are luckier, but because they have released the things that once caused them to repeat suffering. They have learned to understand themselves, to heal themselves, and to face their own darkness. And when the inner world becomes clear, the outer world naturally begins to shift in ways that are almost unbelievable. You do not need to chase after good things. You only need to become the person that good things can come to. This is the starting point of every transformation, and that journey begins right here. By slowly observing what is happening within yourself, you will notice that many reactions do not come from the present, but from experiences that happened long ago. There are emotions that arise so quickly that you do not understand why you react so strongly. There are fears that seem illogical but cling tightly. There are habits you thought were part of your nature but are actually traces of a past that has not been processed. Humans grow up carrying their wounds and often carry them as if they are part of themselves. A person who has been hurt many times often finds it hard to believe in kindness. They hear a compliment, yet their heart tightens as if expecting a blow. Even a warm embrace can make them feel unsafe. Meanwhile, their heart longs to be touched, to be loved, to be trusted. This inner conflict does not come from a refusal of happiness, but because their body and mind have learned to live in defense for too long. The mind believes that being cautious will keep them safe, even though that very caution prevents all good things from reaching them. Some people grow up in an environment filled with criticism. They carry the feeling that nothing they do is ever enough. A single mistake can make them feel ashamed. As adults, they become people who are highly responsible, capable of enduring, and skilled at pleasing others. But every effort carries within it the fear of being judged and left behind. They do not run because they love running. They run because they fear that stopping will make someone see them as no longer worthy. Then there are those who have experienced abandonment. They grow up with the worry that they are not important enough, not good enough for someone to choose them for the long term. Because of this, they are easily drawn into half-hearted relationships where they must try twice as hard to hold on to something that should have happened naturally. Fear leads them to choose things that do not truly belong to them. Yet they do not realize it, because the feeling of being abandoned is so familiar that anything safe begins to feel strange. These observations are not meant as judgment. They are simply signs that wounds have never been addressed, and wounds that go unacknowledged will find ways to speak through behavior, choices, and even through the significant turns in life. What we call repeated fate is actually unconscious patterns being reenacted. It is a form of emotional memory directing actions before we even have a chance to think. Many people strive to change. They move to a new place, change jobs, change circumstances. Yet everything they carry inside remains unchanged. They leave behind the things that cause them pain, only to encounter another version of that pain in a new form. It is not because they want to repeat it, but because they do not realize that their inner world is guiding the way. The most important moment of transformation is not when you decide to change, but when you first see the pattern you have been living by. When you realize that your anger does not come from the present, your worries are not just about work, and your jealousy is not truly about others, but all are connected to what you have experienced in the past. This awareness is not easy, but it is like turning on the light in an old room. You can see the dust, the forgotten objects, the dark corners long covered in cobwebs. Yet the light allows you to begin cleaning, and once you have seen it, you can no longer pretend that you have not. The important point is that no one escapes the past by running fast. It can only be escaped by stopping and looking carefully. Looking to know which parts need healing, which parts need to be released, and which parts are still silently controlling us. From that moment, the process of true transformation begins. When you begin to observe deeply within, a truth gradually emerges. Alongside the wounds that have not yet healed, you also carry the stories created by those very wounds. Humans do not react directly to reality. They react to what they believe is reality. A single hurt in childhood can become a persistent belief that you are not good enough. A past failure can become the prejudice that you are incapable. An experience of abandonment can make you believe that love is not meant for you. These experiences gradually form a picture that you mistake for your true nature. But in reality, they are patterns shaped by the past. These stories do not appear loudly, yet they silently guide every choice and reaction. You notice fear arising unexpectedly. You avoid new opportunities. You withdraw from potential relationships that you think are your own choice. These patterns lead you to repeat familiar disappointments, and you gradually believe that everything that happens is fate. Even if you change your job, move to a new place, or change your partner, if the beliefs and stories inside remain unchanged, everything returns to the same cycle. It is not because you are unlucky, but because you are still operating according to the old script without realizing it. Many people do not realize that they themselves are complicit in this story. They tell themselves, "I am not worthy, I will just fail, I do not deserve to be loved," and then they live by these statements as if they were rules. The brain believes what it hears repeatedly, and these stories become the filter through which you view the world. Life reflects what you believe, not what you want. What you see around you becomes evidence that reinforces your beliefs, and unconsciously, you create a loop with yourself at the center. But the old story is not impossible to change. It only requires that you look directly at it, acknowledge it, and understand that it once existed because you needed it to survive. When you distinguish between what belongs to the past and who you truly are, you gain the ability to rewrite your own script. Each time you acknowledge an old belief that no longer serves you and choose a new thought, you create space to change your behavior, change your emotions, and change the way you attract everything in life. This awareness opens a great opportunity. You no longer have to live as a copy of the past. You can act based on values and mindfulness, no longer controlled by old patterns. When you begin to rewrite your inner story, the outer world also starts to change accordingly. Choices, relationships, and opportunities appear in alignment with the person you are becoming. You no longer need to chase after good things because good things begin to come to you naturally. Inner change creates a subtle yet powerful attraction that allows you to live fully and receive what truly matches your real value. When your inner world becomes clear and free, you realize that all good things are no longer distant dreams but realities that you can step into naturally. Inner change is not only about recognizing old patterns or confronting wounds, but also about daring to face parts of yourself that you once avoided. Everyone has dark parts within, holding fear, anger, shame, and emotions that have not been allowed to surface. They do not disappear just because you ignore them. They quietly influence how you react, how you make choices, and how you perceive the world. A careless comment can trigger anger, a silence can make you feel abandoned, an ordinary opportunity can leave you confused. These reactions are not random. They are the product of the parts within you that have never been seen or acknowledged. The dark parts within you are not your enemy, but a mirror reflecting what you have hidden in order to survive or to be loved. Some children learn to remain silent to avoid reprimand. Some souls learn to be tough to prevent getting hurt. And some people have had to push themselves just to survive. Over time, these protective mechanisms become familiar patterns, obscuring your true self. And it is this obscuring that causes you to continue repeating wrong choices and attracting situations that reinforce your pain. Facing these dark parts does not mean judging or blaming yourself. On the contrary, it is an act of listening, understanding, and embracing them with compassion. When you allow anger to arise without suppressing it, you realize it is merely a message warning that your boundaries have been crossed. When you allow sadness to be present, you see that a part of you has long been waiting to be understood. When you acknowledge jealousy or worry, you recognize your true desires and needs. Every emotion has its own value, and only when you dare to see and acknowledge them can you begin to control them instead of letting them control you. Living authentically with your dark side also means stopping the act of wearing masks or playing roles. You do not need to create a perfect image to be accepted by others. You do not need to strain yourself to prove anything to the world. Being authentic is living without betraying your deepest needs. When you live this way, your inner energy becomes steady and clear. The right people, opportunities, and situations will recognize that energy and come to you naturally, while those that do not belong will gradually move away. This quiet yet powerful presence creates a natural attraction, not loud, not needing proof, but strong enough to make life respond to the frequency you emit. In that state of authenticity, you begin to understand that true strength does not come from imposing or controlling, but from fully embracing yourself, understanding who you are, and living according to your true values. The darkness that once oppressed you now becomes the material for your growth. When you stand firm in truth, you no longer fear failure, rejection, or abandonment. All that remains is freedom, peace, and an energy strong enough to attract all the good that is waiting for you. When you have found your inner truth, your actions naturally begin to change without excessive effort. You no longer react out of old instincts or habits, nor let unconscious fears control your decisions. Instead, you choose according to what supports and honors your value. Boundaries that once felt rigid now become clear and obvious. You know what needs protection and what should be released, what is worth holding on to, and what no longer serves you. The sense of relief that arises does not come from removing people or circumstances, but from realizing that you are no longer willing to accept anything that harms you ever again. Setting boundaries is never selfish. It is an act of self-protection, an act of honoring yourself, and a reminder that you deserve peace and good things. When you say no to old, unnecessary, or harmful things, you create space for what is truly appropriate to enter. People and situations that are no longer compatible will naturally leave, while genuine opportunities and relationships will gradually find their way to you. Boundaries become a tool to help you maintain balance and manage your energy without force or struggle. However, this process often comes with resistance, both from outside and within. People familiar with your old version may feel uncomfortable, uneasy, or react negatively. Old habits and long-standing reflexive patterns within you may also resist change. They create feelings of fear, pulling you back toward familiar paths. But all of this is merely an echo of the past, not the present truth. Each time you continue to choose in alignment with your values, you are proving that you are no longer controlled by old patterns. Maturity does not come from loud actions or grand decisions. It comes from the quiet moments when you still stand tall, choosing not to betray yourself. You refuse what does not align even when your heart hesitates. You keep promises to yourself even when no one is watching, and you step away from places that quietly wound your heart. These small steps add up to consistency, creating inner strength that words cannot describe. A remarkable thing happens when you maintain consistency in your actions. You no longer need to argue or prove anything to the world, nor do you need to beg for love or respect. The clarity in your values and the energy you radiate naturally attract what is right. People sense that steadiness and authenticity, and the right opportunities and relationships come to you without needing to search. You become a point of stability, a magnetic energy, a strong yet quiet version of yourself. And it is this strength that makes life respond in the way you deserve. Life does not always immediately reflect the change you are creating within, but there comes a moment when you feel clearly that every effort, every small step, every time you dare to stand tall before yourself begins to reflect outward. There is no longer force or striving to create good. Everything happens naturally. Doors that once slammed shut suddenly open. Opportunities you once thought would never arrive now appear, and sincere people come to you without any effort on your part. The world does not favor you magically. It simply reflects the inner state you have built. When your inner world is clear, steady, and whole, the life around you begins to align to the same frequency. You realize that letting go is not failure or loss, but a form of creation. By setting down relationships, habits, and emotions that no longer serve you, you create space for what is truly worthy to enter. That space does not require pleading or effort. It naturally opens to receive what aligns with the new value you are radiating. Each time you choose to remain faithful to yourself, you pave the way for life to respond in the manner you deserve. What you perceive as challenges or loneliness in this process is merely the old trying to hold space for the new. Inner change also appears in the way you focus and direct your energy. What you give attention to grows, and you begin to see that focusing on what supports yourself is far stronger than any forced effort. When you keep your mind clear and your intentions strong, every action and decision aligns with the values you are moving toward. Intention is not a vague desire or distant wish. It is an inner positioning, a compass guiding each action and decision so that you are no longer pulled back by old patterns or unseen fears. The miracle here is not magic, but the natural result of a soul that has healed, become clear and whole. You no longer need to chase good things, because good things come to you naturally. You no longer need to prove your worth, because your value shines on its own. You are no longer caught in old loops, because what you once feared no longer holds power. The steadiness, authenticity, and wholeness you create become a naturally magnetic energy. It is quiet yet powerful, understated yet impossible to ignore. Life now becomes an honest reflection. What you radiate within is received outwardly. Relationships, opportunities, love, respect, and joy appear in alignment with the person you are becoming. You do not need to control, force, or strain yourself. You only need to stay true to your essence, remain faithful to your values, and continue clearing your inner space. And then all the good things you once longed for enter your life, not as magic, but as the natural consequence of the changes you have made within. When you live according to your values and remain faithful to yourself, the energy you radiate becomes clear and powerful. Opportunities, relationships, and good things will naturally come to you without force or strain. Every step you take, every choice made from authenticity, opens space for life to respond in the way you deserve, and you will receive them with confidence and peace. At the end of this journey, you will realize that good things do not come because luck has changed, but because you yourself have transformed. You have looked inward, recognized old patterns, and faced the parts you once avoided. You have chosen to heal, to be authentic, and to release what no longer belongs to you. And when your inner world becomes lighter and clearer, life begins to respond at the same frequency. The right people naturally appear. The right opportunities naturally unfold. It is not because the world favors you more, but because ultimately you have become someone capable of receiving. Good things come to those who protect their own peace. They come to those who dare to let go to make space for the new. They come to those who dare to live authentically, even if it sometimes makes them a little more alone. The small steps you have taken, even quietly, have brought you to a place where you can see life with new eyes. If these insights bring you understanding or a sense of peace, please hit like so the message can reach more people. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications, because in the next videos, we will continue to explore the journey of healing, building inner strength, and attracting good things through the changes you create from within. See you in the next video. Keep growing in the gentlest way with yourself.